to the sewing room. It's a long bank holiday weekend here in the UK and a lot of places around the world. So I am going to get some much needed sewing done while my husband is out. And I thought I could show you some of my ideas for joining in the fun polka dot trend for this spring. I love polka dots every year. To me, they are timeless, wonderful, easy to wear. I know they're not for everybody, but I thought I could talk through some of the ideas I have, which are a good excuse to sew some polka dot fabrics from my stash and maybe inspire you too. My Pinterest board is always full of polka dots. I gather inspiration all the time, and just so happens that people are loving polka dots for spring 2026. So I thought I'd show you some of the things I have pinned and some of the things I've already decided that I'm going to make. Let's dive in. Okay, let's start with this amazing twill. It's a slightly beigey, cream, biscuity base colour with dark navy blue spots. They're very dark, they almost look black in some lights. And this is a lovely medium to heavyweight twill, perfect for trousers or jackets. And that's exactly what I'm planning on making. I saw a Nobody's Child jacket that uses a near identical fabric. It's probably a bit more white on the base. I would have loved a white and black polka dot, but this will do nicely. And I really want to make this jacket, and I already have the perfect birder pattern in my stash. It's like a little barn jacket. Gonna look really great, lovely seam details, great pockets. I think that's a really good match for this, don't you? The one change that I'm going to make is to get a coordinating navy twill or cord or denim in this dark navy spot colour and use that for the collar. Pale fabrics aren't always great for my complexion. I think they can wash me out sometimes, but if I'm framing it around the face with a dark collar, that'll work really nicely. So this fabric was from Pigeon Wishes. I got it from their Etsy shop. You can also get it from Hey So Sister. They had some of it. I'm sure there's probably some other stockists too. It feels really nice. I know that Georgie of Hey So Sister made a pair of trousers in this that looked really cool, and that did make me stop for a minute and go, oh, should I be making trousers in this? But I'm sticking with my original plan. A little lightweight jacket, perfect for the chillier days in spring because the weather keeps yo-yoing. I was also tempted to waterproof it with a wash-in waterproofing treatment, but I don't want to add a hood, so there's not much point. If it's going to be raining outside, I need a hood or an umbrella, and it probably isn't worth waterproofing a little short jacket like this. So I'm excited to make that up. Next, I have this incredibly soft, giant spot. They are really big spot size on this gorgeous washed linen. So it's softer than a normal linen. It's been like treated, and it has ever so slightly like an imperfect print effect, which is kind of charming. Looks almost like it's been screen printed. And that was from Minerva. I found it at one of the remnant sales, so you might remember it from a previous video. And I had thought maybe a nice sundress in this, but something about me is just really saying make a pair of polka dot trousers. And for me, like anything I wear on my bottom half usually needs to be darker. I'm not really into light fabrics on my bottom half. It does happen occasionally, but yeah, I think dark fabrics on your lower half are just much more wearable. I'm a spiller in life. I'm going to get them dirty, so dark fabrics hide that a bit better. So my only hesitancy is how big the spots are. They might be a bit big for a pair of trousers. But if I was, it was going to be just a pair of loose fitting elastic waist trousers. I think I've got 2 and a bit meters of this, so I could make a little matching top to go with. Or I just stick with my guns, my original idea, and make a really nice dress from this. I think the cat's been sat on this. I'm finding a few cat hairs. She's very sneaky. She likes to get into my stash when I'm not looking. Yeah, so some kind of maybe strappy with buttons. I'm not sure about the buttons, but I had a really nice Vogue dress that had very thin spaghetti straps, Vogue patterns with princess seams and like a high neckline. That could be really good. You just have to be careful that a big princess seam doesn't cut the spot awkwardly. Something to think about there. But it feels really nice, so I'm looking forward to wearing that. Linen, obviously, wrinkles like nobody's business. That would be, again, a danger with trousers. But if they were gathered trousers and they had lots of creases anyway from all the gathers, you might not notice that I was looking a bit rumpled or I hadn't ironed them. I need good working from home clothes. I like to dress up a bit when I'm working from home, not be just in jogging bottoms. It just doesn't work for me. It makes me feel like I haven't actually done any work. So a nice pair of gathered waist trousers could be fun in this. I'll keep having a think. There's been some amazing sort of linen pieces in polka dots. Lots of waistcoats and two-piece sets. Lots of very chic trousers. Now, I don't like to make anything too formal out of linen because I just find the rumpledness doesn't go with the kind of polished look. So yeah, for me, if it's going to be a linen like this, it needs to be something where I can pull off looking rumpled. So a nice casual dress could be the way to go. So that's how I think about that one. This pink linen has a much smaller spot and it's a linen cotton mix. This has been in my stash for a really long time and I was so close to sewing it last year, but the weather just kept changing and keeping me on my toes, so it never felt like quite the right time for it. I can't exactly remember where this is from. Gina has it as well, so I might reach out to her and ask. It might be Sew UK, which is a lovely shop. Oh no, it might be Fleur and... oh, but she's closed down now. I think it was from a shop that's closed down, but it's such a lovely feel to it and very girly pink. It might be a bit close to my skin tone, but I think I can pull it off. I like wearing pink. It'll be okay. I mean, we've talked about this before. I generally stick to my colours because I've had my colours done, but if I really like a fabric or a colour, you know, I'll just wear it regardless because if it makes me happy, then it was meant to be one of my colours. And this, I really do want to make a dress from this, a very girly dress. I've had one picked out for ages, but it's a very true strappy sundress. It has a lovely kind of angled seam at the front. It's very like a seam work or colette pattern that I used to have when I very first started sewing, but this is a simplicity pattern and I like this one because it has a sheared back. Super easy to throw on over your head and off you go. So I think that could look really pretty as a sundress. I have 2 meters, so like a rectangular gathered skirt, lovely strappy bodice. We had some crazy hot weather in May last year. I was looking back at all my Me Made May videos from last year. I hope you're going to tune in again with the ones from this year. And the first day of May was like 27 degrees. So I'm getting prepped. I need some more sundresses. So this could be the perfect combo, don't you think? Next up is this gorgeous bright blue polka dot. They're much smaller against a smaller dot on this. And it actually has like a texture to the fabric. It has woven into it, almost like secondary ghost polka dots. And this is a stretch crepe from Minerva. It's a Minerva exclusive print. Oh, I can link that in the description. One of my favourite shades of blue, like almost like cornflower, but a bit brighter, like a happy blue sky. Love this shade of blue. And the stretch is quite slight. I would say maybe 2%, 3% maximum stretch on the cross grain, and then nothing on the length, well, maybe a tiny bit on the lengthwise grain. But the most gorgeous shade, very floaty, very drapey. And I've been thinking about making a wrap dress with a frilled skirt. So just like this new look pattern. It's also like a simplicity pattern that's very popular, had that style of skirt. And even the newest collection of Simplicity has a skirt, just a skirt with that ruffle on. Emily Holman, who I love following on Instagram, she's made that pattern several times. It always looks really nice with the ruffle. I also have a blue dress that I made, which I think it's a butterick pattern. I think I want to say 6446. Let's see if I was right with my memory has returned to me, which I made in a similar shade of blue with white stars all over it, which was a stretch crepe. And I really loved that dress. I don't wear it enough. So part of me, and that has a frill, a lovely frill on the bottom. So part of me was like, oh, am I just making another version of that dress? Maybe I should make something totally different. But I've got quite a lot of this. I've got 3 meters. And I think something really full and twirly and girly like that would be great. There'd probably be enough for sleeves as well. So yeah, I think I'm gonna get that pattern out, maybe try on the star print dress again just to compare and see what speaks to me with this one. This is a fairly recent addition to my stash. I bought it because it was an unbelievable sale from Threadquarters, who's based out of Ireland. And she is a lovely Instagram friend as well. And she was selling this fabric. She's closing down a store, so there's amazing bargains to be had. She had this in another colour as well. And the yellow was £2 a metre. A beautiful viscose. I think it's got a little bit of polyester in there. There's something that makes it crease resistant. And I was quite tempted to make this Vogue dress that is an oldie but a real goodie from my stash. I made it for my 40th birthday dress, which you might remember, and I made it way, way, way back at the beginning of my sewing adventures and wore it out to a meetup at the V&A. There was 100 of us there. It was the most incredible day, and we all had our photos taken by a professional photographer. It was such fun. Got to meet a lot of makers and go fabric shopping, and yeah, a lovely trip to London. So I have really fond memories of that dress pattern. I then made it again in black with big roses all over it. That was a £1 a metre fabric, and I absolutely loved that dress. I can't fit into it anymore, but I absolutely adored that dress. It made me feel, for £1 a metre fabric, it made me feel like $1 million. And then yeah, rediscovered the pattern, made it for my 40th birthday, which is quite a nice full circle moment for my sewing career. And I thought this could work really well for that pattern. Now, if you can't hunt out a copy, if you really like this design, there's actually a McCall's dress that's incredibly similar. It just has a slightly different skirt and it has more views than the Vogue. So there's extra sleeves and different necklines you could play around with. So that's actually a really good pattern to pick up. I think it's only as PDF, but again, if you're savvy and like to hunt on secondhand sites or destashes, maybe you could find a copy. It could look really nice in the yellow. I think that would feel quite girly. I like girly dresses, and it's such a happy, bright colour. Wearing yellow makes me really happy. It's like being the sunshine when the day might not be as bright as you wish outside. And yeah, I think that could come together really nicely. So it only just arrived. There's probably still some left for you if you want to snap up a bargain as well. This is also another new addition to my fabric stash because I have friends who enable me. And Alice of Sew Alice, who's an Instagram friend but also lives in the same village as I do, in the same town, she gave me this beautiful piece of, I think we're calling it a Tencel. It does feel like a Tencel. We couldn't find the original listing to double check. It was a Rainbow Fabrics that sold out very quickly, unless they've listed some more. Ooh, go check. Maybe they've got a bit more back in stock. It's so incredibly drapey, feels wonderful. It's got the twill weave where you can see the diagonal lines on the front of the fabric. But yeah, made it in Tencel, totally opaque, gorgeous chocolatey brown. You know who it reminds me of. It's giving me all the Pretty Woman vibes. Brown dress with a beautiful straw hat, off to the races with Julia Roberts. Ah, that would be lovely. But as soon as I saw it, I thought, coordinating two-piece set. Yes, I talked before about maybe a little pair of elastic waist trousers. This could be perfect for that because it's so drapey. It would hold wonderfully well. It doesn't crease too badly. So that plus, I've talked about in a previous video, this little new look top that has side ties. Really cute little shell piece with ties down the side. Very charming. Those two pieces worn together as a coordinating set would be perfect. or I keep going to, I think it's Simplicity 3080, is it? I'm not as good as I used to be. I don't have to do it for work anymore, so it's hilarious if I do remember them. It's a 2-piece set. It's a waistcoat, a sort of long line waistcoat with kind of below the hip flare, and then a skirt that's like a panelled A-line flared skirt. Beautiful combination. I really like that pattern, and the line art even has the skirt in polka dot, brown polka dot. Maybe that's what's been speaking to me. So it could be either a top and a skirt, because I really like the cut of that skirt with the gourd panels, the princess seams that come down the front, and I really like the kind of waistband and zipper up the side. I think that could be easy to wear, very comfy, and mix and match with lots of outfits. But also elastic waist trousers. I'm liking the comfort of them, and yes, I only generally wear them around the house, but I feel like in a chic polka dot, maybe I could wear the 2-piece set out and about as well. That could be good. But beautiful fabric, like I say, rainbow fabrics. We might have some more of it. It feels really lovely, and I really like the scale. It's just off-white polka dot on a brown base. So yeah, that one's really cool too. Last but not least, I do have some more polka dot in my stash, but I couldn't pull them all out or we'd be here talking all day. This is a fabric that you saw in my post-Christmas roundup. I was lucky enough to be given it for Christmas, and I think I showed the inspiration images there, but I'll repeat them here because they're so beautiful. This block printed stripe spot was from Hey Sew Sister, and the fabric is not exactly the same but looks near identical as a block print cotton used in Day Dresses range. That's a brand called Day Dress, and they have 2 versions. They have a shirt dress in this blue and green, and then they have a beautiful sundress in pinky reds. So I obviously got the blue and green for Christmas. Very pleased. I got it as 2 separate pieces. So I have 2 1-meter pieces, and I would quite like to make a shirt dress, but the more I look at the pieces, because of the way they've been cut, I might be a bit better off making a sundress, because the shirt dress, I'm going to struggle to cut it out without that continuous run of fabric, which is absolutely fine. I do love a sundress, as we've talked about, and this day dress one is kind of loose and airy and feels very fresh and perfect for a sticky day. So that could be a really good match, don't you think? A lovely cotton, lightweight cotton, like I say, block printed. It's got a bit of like transparency in the spots so you can see the stripes through them. Lovely shade of blue, very happy colours. And yeah, that's just a peek into my polka dot stash. I collect a lot of polka dot fabrics. I have a really nice one that was in there somewhere that's like polka dots and bows together, but that's more for an autumn blouse, I think, the more I think about it. So that one's staying in the stash for now. I just love combing Pinterest, combing websites, soaking up all the polka dot inspiration. It hasn't really hit proper spring yet. We're very early on in the UK. I mean, it snowed the other day, so I don't want to make anything that I won't be able to wear immediately. That's why I think maybe starting with the jacket will be a good idea, because I'll definitely get some wear out of that. And maybe the 2-piece look. I think that would be really fun. Many of you will have followed for a while and will know that last year I let my husband, James, who's a bit of a regular recurring face on my channel, I let him pick all my outfits for May. Obviously they were all made by me, so he had good things to pick from, but I let him put together my look every day. It was hilarious. We had a lot of fun. The videos are so silly. He talked through why he picked them every time, and I think he's coming back for another year. So I thought maybe we could add some polka dots into the mix and he could pick from them. That could be really fun. So making things in April that you get to see in the videos in May. So that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed this quick peek into my stash. There was a call on a previous video to see more of my fabrics that I have that I'm very excited to make. We could do a bit more of this. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the inspiration. I'll put a link to my polka dot Pinterest board in the description as well, in case you want to follow me on Pinterest. And yeah, let's get sewing.